Imagine the glittering palaces of St. Petersburg, their golden domes and intricate facades reflecting the grandeur of an empire. These palaces, with their opulent interiors and lavish decorations, were the epitome of Russian aristocracy and power. Feel the icy wind whipping off the Neva River, a chilling reminder of the harsh and unforgiving Russian winters. The river, frozen and formidable, symbolizes the resilience and strength of the Russian spirit. This is Russia, a land of vastness and power, of beauty and brutality. From the endless steppes to the dense forests, the Russian landscape is as diverse as it is immense, a testament to the country's enduring might and natural splendor. In the 18th century, it was ruled by a dynasty born of ambition and intrigue, the Romanovs. This family, with their complex web of alliances and rivalries, shaped the course of Russian history through their relentless pursuit of power. Peter the Great, a Tsar of immense vision, had dragged Russia kicking and screaming into the modern world. His reforms, though often brutal, laid the foundation for a new era, transforming Russia into a formidable European power. He built a new capital, St. Petersburg, a window to the west. This city, with its grand architecture and strategic location, became a symbol of Peter's ambition and a gateway for Russia to engage with the rest of Europe. But Peter's death in 1725 left a power vacuum. The throne, once a seat of absolute authority, now stood empty, a glittering prize that many coveted but few could claim. The throne, a glittering prize, awaited a new ruler. The corridors of power buzzed with anticipation and intrigue as the fate of the empire hung in the balance. The stage was set for a tale of ambition, love, and betrayal. The court, with its elaborate ceremonies and hidden agendas, became a battleground where alliances were forged and broken, and where the stakes were nothing less than the future of Russia. A young German princess, Sophie of Anhalt-Zerbst, would rise to become Catherine the Great, Empress of all the Russias. Her journey from a foreign land to the pinnacle of Russian power is a story of resilience, intelligence, and unyielding ambition. Her story is one of the most dramatic and fascinating in history. Catherine's reign was marked by significant reforms, military victories, and cultural advancements, all of which cemented her legacy as one of Russia's greatest rulers. It is a story of how a foreign princess, armed with her intellect and determination, conquered the hearts and minds of a nation. Catherine's ability to navigate the treacherous waters of Russian politics and her vision for the future transformed the empire and left an indelible mark on history. Sophie was born into a minor German principality, a small and relatively insignificant region in the vast tapestry of European politics. Despite her humble beginnings, she possessed a keen intellect and an insatiable curiosity about the world around her. She was intelligent and ambitious, with a thirst for knowledge and power. From a young age, Sophie devoured books on history, philosophy, and politics, dreaming of a life far beyond the confines of her small principality. Her chance came when Empress Elizabeth of Russia, Peter the Great's daughter, chose her as a bride for her heir, the Grand Duke Peter. This was a monumental opportunity, a chance to step onto the grand stage of European power. It was a marriage of convenience, a political alliance designed to secure Russia's future. The union was not born out of love but out of necessity, a common practice among the royalty of the time. Sophie, renamed Catherine upon her conversion to Orthodoxy, arrived in Russia at the tender age of 15. The journey was long and arduous, but she was determined to make the most of her new life. She embraced her new homeland with open arms, eager to learn and adapt. Catherine quickly immersed herself in the culture and traditions of Russia, showing a genuine interest in her adopted country. Catherine learned the Russian language, converted to the Orthodox faith, and immersed herself in Russian culture. She attended religious ceremonies, studied Russian literature, and wore the symbols of her new faith with pride. She charmed the court with her wit and intelligence, quickly becoming a favorite among the nobility. However, her marriage was a disaster, plagued by incompatibility and neglect. Peter, immature and unstable, was more interested in toy soldiers than in his wife. His childish behavior and lack of interest in governance left Catherine feeling isolated and unfulfilled. Catherine, isolated and unhappy, found solace in books and in the arms of lovers. She sought comfort and companionship wherever she could find it, yearning for the affection and respect she lacked in her marriage. She was biding her time, waiting for her moment to seize the throne. Catherine's determination and strategic mind were her greatest assets, and she knew that one day her patience and perseverance would pay off. Empress Elizabeth died in 1762, and Peter ascended to the throne as Peter III. His reign was short-lived and disastrous. Peter's pro-Prussian policies alienated the powerful Russian nobility. Catherine, meanwhile, had gained their support. She was seen as a strong and capable leader, a stark contrast to her incompetent husband. In a daring coup, Catherine rallied the Imperial Guard and the Russian Orthodox Church to her side. Peter III was overthrown and murdered. Catherine, at the age of 33, ascended to the throne as Catherine II, Empress of all the Russias. The German princess had become the most powerful woman in the world. The coup was a turning point in Russian history. It marked the beginning of Catherine's reign, a period of unprecedented change and upheaval for Russia. Catherine the Great was an enlightened despot. She corresponded with Voltaire and Diderot, the leading thinkers of the Enlightenment. She embraced Western ideas of education, culture, and government. Catherine's reign saw the founding of schools, hospitals, and libraries across Russia. She reformed the legal system and introduced local self-government. Catherine's dream was to transform Russia into a modern European power. She saw herself as a benevolent ruler, a mother to her people. She genuinely believed in progress and sought to improve the lives of her subjects. But her reforms were often superficial, masking the deep-seated problems that plagued Russian society. A golden age of expansion. Catherine's reign was also a time of territorial expansion. Russia pushed southwards, conquering lands from the Ottoman Empire and annexing Crimea. In the west, Catherine participated in the partitions of Poland, expanding Russia's borders further. These conquests transformed Russia into a vast empire, stretching from the Baltic Sea to the Pacific Ocean. Catherine's expansionist policies cemented Russia's status as a major European power. Her armies were victorious on land and sea. The Russian Empire had never been so large, so powerful, or so feared. But these conquests came at a human cost. Millions of people were brought under Russian rule, often against their will. The iron fist beneath the velvet glove. Despite her enlightened ideals, Catherine's reign was marked by a brutal paradox. She expanded serfdom, tying peasants to the land and strengthening the power of the nobility. The gap between the rich and the poor grew wider. Catherine needed the support of the nobility to maintain her grip on power, and she was willing to make concessions to them, even at the expense of the peasantry. Her reign was also marked by rebellions and uprisings, brutally suppressed by the Tsarist regime. The most serious of these was Pugachev's rebellion, a peasant revolt that shook the empire to its core. Catherine, who had once spoken of abolishing serfdom, responded with ruthless force. The rebellion was crushed, and its leader, Emilian Pugachev, was captured and executed. Whispers of dissent, flames of rebellion. Emilian Pugachev, a Cossack soldier, emerged as a figurehead for the oppressed. He declared himself Tsar Peter III, claiming to have escaped the assassination plot. Thousands flocked to his banner. From the Volga River to the Ural Mountains, rebellion raged. The rebellion was fueled by a potent mix of economic hardship, social unrest, and religious fervor. It exposed the deep fissures within Russian society, the simmering resentment towards Catherine's rule. The rebellion terrified Catherine. It challenged her authority and threatened to unravel her empire. She responded with a brutality that shocked even her own court. The rebellion was a turning point in Catherine's reign. It hardened her heart and extinguished any lingering idealism she might have possessed. The Empress's Twilight. Catherine the Great ruled Russia for 34 years, from 1762 until her death in 1796. Her reign is often considered one of the most significant in Russian history. She died in 1796, leaving behind a complex and contradictory legacy that continues to be studied and debated by historians to this day. She was a woman of immense talent and ambition, a ruler who left an indelible mark on Russia. Her intelligence and political acumen were matched by her determination to modernize and expand her empire. Catherine expanded Russia's borders significantly, adding vast territories to the empire. She modernized its government, introducing reforms that aimed to streamline administration and reduce corruption. She also championed education and culture, founding schools and libraries, and promoting the arts and sciences. Her reign was a golden age for the Russian aristocracy. The nobility enjoyed unprecedented wealth and privilege, and the cultural life of the court flourished. Palaces were built, operas were performed, and French was spoken in the salons of St. Petersburg. The city became a vibrant cultural center, attracting artists, writers, and intellectuals from across Europe. But her reign was also marked by oppression and inequality. Despite her enlightened ideals, Catherine did little to improve the lives of the vast majority of her subjects. Millions of Russians remained trapped in serfdom, denied basic human rights, and subjected to harsh conditions. The serfs toiled on the land, producing the wealth that supported the lavish lifestyles of the nobility. The gap between the rich and poor grew wider, as the nobility amassed more power and wealth, while the peasants remained mired in poverty and exploitation. Catherine's legacy is one of both light and shadow, a testament to the complexities of power and the enduring challenges of governing a vast and diverse empire. Her achievements and failures continue to resonate, offering lessons on the potential and pitfalls of leadership. A legacy forged in contradiction. Catherine the Great left an indelible mark on Russia. She transformed a backward nation into a European superpower. She patronized the arts and sciences, expanded Russia's borders, and modernized its government. But her reforms often benefited the elite at the expense of the masses. Serfdom, the institution that shackled millions of Russians to the land, reached its peak under her rule. Catherine's legacy is one of grand ambition and tragic contradiction. She was a product of her time, an enlightened despot who ruled with an iron fist. Her story reminds us that progress is rarely linear, and that even the most powerful rulers are bound by the constraints of their age.